afternoon and welcome to ZTN News Blitz. A look at our top stories. Zim COVID-19 cases jump 564% in 1 month. Human-wildlife conflict claims 50 in Zimbabwe. Malawi introduces COVID-19 award for health workers. Van der Westhuizen looks up to Kirsty Coventry. Zimbabwe has recorded a 564% increase in COVID-19 cases in just over a month. That is from 30 June to date. The number of people who have died of the virus now stand at 70, up from just 7 at the end of June when Zimbabwe had 591 cases. The latest data from the Ministry of Health and Childcare shows that COVID-19 cases now stand at 3,921, an increase of 3,330 cases in just over a month. In the last 2 days, a total of 752 new infections were recorded, and local cases are now at 2,828, while imported cases are 1,093. The Chief Coordinator of the National Response to COVID-19 Pandemic in the Office of the President and Cabinet, Dr. Agnes Mahomva, says the worst is yet to come.
Government is preparing and is going to do a community survey that will help us understand where our situation is in the communities and so on. So that much is very much in progress. It's a scientific study that the government is doing with our team of researchers to really understand our epidemic better, so that we're able to not only prepare but respond to it accordingly. You are aware a number of cases, the local cases are identified in Bulawayo and Harare.
But the acting health minister, Professor Eamon Mwirira, is urging calm.
Yes, to the best of our ability, we are prepared. Yes, we are trying to do everything in our power to make sure that we confront this disease. Yes, we are trying to pass as much information as possible so that we don't talk about infection, but we talk about infection prevention. Yes, statistics are telling us all those dire things, but if we do the right thing, we'll defy the statistics and make sure that we prevent crowds going for treatment. At the same time, we are working on isolation centers. We are working, for example, on Parinyatwa. We are working on PH. We are working on Ekusileni. We are working on several places where we are really ramping up our effort to try to do that. As a nation, we will succeed. There is no need when we are faced with a threat to panic, because once we begin to panic, it means most of our mind is occupied with panic rather than action.
Zimbabwe's High Court has set Hopewell Chingono's bail ruling for 6th of August this week. Chingono's and Transform Zimbabwe leader Jacob Ngarivume are being charged with incitement to commit public violence, alternatively incitement to participate in a gathering with the intent to promote public violence. They were both arrested on the 20th of July. Their legal counsel, Beatrice Mtetwa, speaks.
The bail appeal has been argued, despite the state only filing its response today. The judge ordered that the matter be heard. It's been argued. The judge says it's a matter which requires him to write a full judgment, and that he can only be ready with the judgment on the 6th, which is Thursday.
50 people were killed by wild animals while 40 were injured across Zimbabwe since the beginning of this year as human-wildlife conflict runs deeper. The attacks have been blamed on a devastating drought in Zimbabwe, which has seen hungry animals breaking out of game reserves, raiding human settlements in search of food and water. Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management spokesperson Tinashe Farao spoke to ZTN.
It's said that we continue to lose lives. This year alone, from January, we have lost at least 50 lives and 40 people have been injured. The 50th person is an elderly man in Hwange who was killed by an elephant this week on Tuesday while he was looking for his cattle just outside his homestead. And unfortunately, another life has been lost. This is very sad, and we have seen an increase in the number of clashes, but mainly is because our animals are overpopulated, and because the animals are overpopulated, they then tend to encroach or invade human settlements.
Now, is the COVID-19 pandemic making Zimbabweans drink less alcohol? Well, beverages manufacturer Delta Corporation says its lager beer sales in April, May and June slumped on the back of shrinking disposable income. The Zimbabwe Stock Exchange listed firm attributes this to the COVID-19 lockdown restrictions. In a statement, Delta said, buoyed by economic challenges, the pandemic dealt a heavy blow to sales, with imbibers drinking 18% less lager beers compared to the same period last year. The beverages maker said trading in alcohol beverages was restricted to off-premise outlets for home consumptions in line with the COVID-19 guidelines. It appears most drinkers have migrated from lagers to spirits, with an associate unit, African Distillers, which sells spirits, recording an overall 8% volume growth for the period under review. Sorghum beer sales were 51% less on prior comparable quarter, as the consumption of soft drinks went up 35% in the quarter. Malawi President Lazarus Chakwera has announced the introduction of a special award for the most dedicated health workers in the fight against COVID-19. Speaking during his weekly national address on Saturday evening, Chakwera said 5 health workers nominated by various medical associations will be receiving the award every 3 months for their dedication to the work. But health workers say awarding only 5 people is not good enough. Malawi continues to register an increase in COVID-19 cases. The Angolan government on Friday took control of a Grupo Medianova, a media company linked to a former aide of ex-President José Eduardo dos Santos, allegedly built with state money. Medianova is a media company owned by General Leopoldino do Nascimento, also known as Dino, who served as Dos Santos's director of communication, a powerful businessman who served within the ex-president's security unit. The company was handed over to Telecommunications Technology and Social Communication Ministry by the National Asset Recovery Office, the state prosecutor's office said in a statement on Friday. US tech giant Microsoft says it is continuing talks to purchase US operations of Chinese-owned video sharing app TikTok. The tech firm said Microsoft boss Satya Nadella had a conversation with Donald Trump about the acquisition on Sunday. Microsoft stressed that it fully appreciates the importance of addressing President Donald Trump's concerns. The company added that a full security review of the app will be conducted. Emeritus Pope Benedict is seriously ill after returning to the Vatican following a visit to Germany to see his dying brother. The retired Pope, aged 93, is suffering from shingles and has become so weak that he cannot raise his voice. Author Peter Seawold says his mind and memory are active, but his voice is barely audible at the moment. Seawold said Benedict was optimistic when the pair spoke on Saturday, saying he might pick up writing again if his strength continues. But his condition has since become extremely fragile, according to the press. Now on to sport. Formula One's 2020 season is only 4 races old, but Lewis Hamilton is already breaking records in his quest to become a 7-time world champion. Hamilton has built a 30-point lead ahead of teammate Valtteri Bottas at the top of the drivers' standings following his dramatic victory at yesterday's British Grand Prix at Silverstone. A record career 7th checkered flag for the 35-year-old in his home race. Bidding for to equal Michael Schumacher's record of 7 world championships, Hamilton is also now only 4 race wins from Germany's all-time tally of 91. Zimbabwe's 17-year-old swimming sensation Paige van der Westhuizen, who is the Zimbabwe record holder in 15 and underage girls 50-meter freestyle, says she is inspired by Kirsty Coventry. The Chipete Senior School student represented Zimbabwe at the 2019 World Aquatics Championships held in Gwangju, South Korea. She competed in the women's 100-meter freestyle and the women's 200-meter freestyle events.
She was definitely an inspiration from when I was very young, and she's always been someone to look up to. I think she does have a very big influence in sim swimming, as she is an idol to all, and she's definitely inspired me to keep going, knowing that from such a small country like Zimbabwe that's not known for swimming as such, you can achieve everything you want, and all your goals in life you can achieve if you just work hard towards it. So that's definitely what Kirsty Coventry has taught me.
On to football, the Pro League, the top division of club football in Belgium, has approved a new expanded format with 2 more teams to play in the league for the next 2 seasons in an effort to avoid financial sanctions imposed by the court ruling concerning the relegation of Wassel and Beveren. The early cancellation of the 2019-2020 Pro League season amid COVID-19 was confirmed in May, with the decision relegating Wassel and Beveren from the top flight. The club took legal action against the decision, and a court ruled that Wasseland should be reinstated, adding that the league will be liable for a financial penalty of $2.9 million for every match played without the club in the division. Before we round up our news blitz today, do remember to play your part in the fight against COVID-19. It appears that COVID-19 is not the only contagion to contend with. The Jerusalem Challenge has taken social media by storm. The dance challenge of South African musician Master G's K hit has transcended borders and caught on to people like a bug. We leave you watching healthcare workers in France giving their shot at the challenge. Thanks for watching.